I'm going to take this broken part, copy it, and by the end of the video, I will have this nice new part made out of aluminum. My oldest kiddo's been shooting his bow, and it was going pretty good, and then it wasn't. Turns out this little rest on here is broken. So this piece of plastic, well, it was missing a screw. It only had one of the two. But anyway, we'll fix that. But this part right here broke out, and you can see the back side here, it just kind of chipped right out. We're going to take this part to copy. I see there's a few things that I'm going to have to get right on. Other things are a little more generous or design oriented. What I have is this piece of aluminum. I'm going to go ahead and use this to make my replacement part.
Since I'm going to use the full width of this piece of metal, I decided to find the center. I zeroed my readout on the first measurement, and then with the second, I divided by 2 and entered that into my DRO. The first operation is to mill a 165 thou groove using an 1/8 inch carbide end mill. Correction, to use 2 1/8 inch carbide end mills. With the second end mill, I decided to increase my speed and slow my feeds. This is also the last 1/8 inch carbide end mill that I have. To accurately position these holes, I'm going to measure the inside distance and outside distance of the two holes. Take that measurement and divide by 2. Then divide by 2 again to find out how far from center each hole is positioned. Using a small center drill, I'm going to locate each hole. Doing this first helps ensure that the drill bit will drill straight through. Sometimes the tip of a drill bit will walk a little bit, and that can make the position of your hole not where it should be. Next, I'm using a large center drill to drill a hole for the beginning of the fork. This small chamfer allows the screws to sit flush when installed. My test fit revealed that my groove wasn't quite wide enough, so I went back to the machine and widened the groove about 3 to 4 thou. Now that the machining is done, it comes down to shaping. I'm taking the old rest off and tracing it just to give an idea how I want to make this, and I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm not really constrained. I don't have to make the exact same shape as before, so I'm going to riff on that and make something a little bit like the rest on my bow for my kiddo's bow. Aluminum is fairly soft, so it files quite nicely. Using this mill file, I get things trued up real nice, and yeah, it's starting to look like a part. Using a woodworking carbide roundover bit and dialing the router speed down to one of the slower settings, it's actually fairly easy to put a nice little roundover on aluminum parts. The part is then further refined using a chainsaw file, followed by a bit of sanding with 180 grit. And now it's ready for a test fit.
Not the prettiest, and I'm missing one screw, but it works really well.
using some Birchwood Casey aluminum black, I'm going to make this thing more camouflage. Or at least that was the plan. For some reason, it's not blackening. And that's when I realized that this part was actually anodized. A bit of sandpaper removes the anodizing, and now it's ready for color.
All right, that black turned out real nice. It's kind of a nice soft color. Nothing shiny for the bow. I'm very happy with this. It is also much, much more durable than the part it replaces.
The part's almost done. Let's have the kiddo take a few shots.
You're an archer.
Okay, not too bad.
Just gotta move them up.
17 yards. Good job.
Yeah, just.
The local hardware store had the screws I need. These are size 2, 56 thread per inch, 1/4 inch flathead screws. And they're also stainless steel. A little dab of blue Loctite will make sure that they stay put. One final touch is to add a little bit of moleskin. This will help quiet things down for hunting.
I really like using that moleskin. It appears to be fairly durable. We'll see how it holds up. But the big thing is that it conforms nicely. So there's a bit of stretch in it, and it seems to stick pretty well. All right, guys, as always, thanks so much for watching. This bow is shooting great, and I feel a lot better about having a solid aluminum arrow rest on here instead of that plastic thing. And yeah, as always, thanks so much for watching. Take care. Until next time. Hey! I forgot a hammer. Oh man. Doesn't impale us, which it shouldn't because it's kind of off to the side a little. Ow. Oh. Fire pit. Hang on. Ow. I don't know who put that there. That hurt. Anyway, hang on. That's better.